Thanks very much for staying with us. And here's an important issue, especially for those students who were to appear for their Class 10th and Class 12 board exams. Now, the Central Board for Secondary Education that has cancelled Class 10 and Class 12 examinations, with the latter now being given an option to appear for an examination that is scheduled to be held once the COVID scenario improves in the country. Now, while the announcement comes as a relief for lakhs of students, there is still less of a clarity on what is the road ahead. To address the student concerns, today we have two guests joining us here on the broadcast. Seema Singh, who is the principal of St. Karen's School in Patna, and Professor C.B. Sharma, who is the chairman of the National Institute of Open School. Thank you very much, both of you, for joining us here on Republic. Seema ji, my first question to you, the Class 12 students, though the CBSE also has said that the matter is sub judice, but what is the option, especially that has been given to the Class 12 students on the basis of the last 3 internal assessments that have been conducted in the schools, or will they be sitting in the remaining exams as a future date that will be decided?
Thank you, ma'am. It's an honor to be on your TV. Actually, CBSE will be sending more clarity to the various schools on this subject. And till now, whatever information we have received it from the news channels. So as far as I can interpret that, for students who have appeared in examinations in more than 3 subjects, that is basically for the science students, because maximum of the science papers which were finished, the average marks obtained in the best 3 performing subjects will be awarded in the subjects whose examinations have not been conducted. So these are unprecedented times, and these call for unprecedented measures, because calling students at this hour would have resulted in many more children getting affected, and it would not have been correct at all. So I think it's a welcome step by CBSE for the time being, that the students who have appeared so far in these papers, the aggregate of those marks will be taken. We are waiting for more clarity in the subjects where students have appeared for less than 3 papers. So we are waiting for the directive to come down to us. I think CBSE will be giving it out in a press release and will be sending individually on the websites.
Professor Sharma, do you believe that it would further complicate matters for students who had appeared in the examinations in only 3 subjects, and it is being said that the average marks that were obtained in the best 2 performing subjects will be awarded in the subjects, those examinations which have not been conducted? And what happens to those students, because the date sheets that had come out for those examinations to be conducted in the first 2 weeks of July, they were separate for also those students, especially coming from the northeast part of Delhi, which had witnessed riots earlier this year?
Thank you very much for very, very important issue which concerns more than 25 crore children in the country. Every child, every family, every parent is worried about their children's welfare and schooling. See, Madam Principal said we are passing through unprecedented time, and I accept and agree, and the world would agree. We cannot have the normal decision-making process at this point of time. Why can we not think out of the box? Why are we still insisting that because CBSE has been conducting, or state boards have been conducting regular paper pencil tests, so that is the only method of conducting assessment and evaluation? What are we trying to do? We say the child, you are capable of getting 85% marks, and the world trusts us. We have created that trust in our boards through decades, if not centuries. Now, I would say we have to think out of the box. And may I correct that I was chairman of the National Institute of Open Schooling till 2 months back. I have completed my term. So now what I'm saying is like a suggestion. See, National Institute of Open Schooling is a national board of Government of India. It has not yet started its board exam. What will happen to the NIOS students? And they are all worried. They are sending frantic mails, messages. What happens to them? I have a couple of suggestions. The National Institute of Open Schooling conducts board exam every day of the year. You have exam centers fixed. The child selects the exam center and the subject for which he or she wants to appear. goes online, fills up the form, prints one's own ID card or admit card, goes to the exam center and writes the exam. Now, let us convert all the Kendriya Vidyalaya, the Navodaya Vidyalaya, and the Army Public School and similar very reputed schools as exam centers. Give the option to the students. You fill up your own form. Come to the exam center, the question paper will be ready. The National Institute of Open Schooling has a large database. It can print millions of question paper without getting duplication. The maximum chance of duplication is 2.5 to 3%. So let us have on-demand exam. Escalate the National Institute of Open Schooling system of on-demand exam. And wherever you have slight improvement, give the option to the student to come and write the exam. It is very easy to say we will do averaging, we will do marking on the basis of the school assessment. Who will trust your mark sheet? Because we are passing through unprecedented time, do not dilute the school board. The school boards have created their reputation through very hard work, and one decision will completely wash out. Who will trust your certificate abroad? They will say your school gave you 19 out of 20.
That is what I was asking, because it would further complicate the matters for students, because Seema ji, there were very few students of class 12 who had appeared in examinations in only 1 or 2 subjects. Their results will be declared on performance in that they appeared in subjects or performance that is also based on their internal or practical or project assessment as well. How valid will it be in the coming times, especially when they go past or go beyond their class 12 examinations? What happens after that?
Ma'am, definitely when you are seeing the result for those who have appeared for less than 2 subjects, CBSE is giving you an opportunity to go in for exams at a later date. They will bring in you as and when they unfold a lot of things, how technically this has to be done. And I'm sure the board has the best of interest at heart of the concerned students. But you also need to understand that nothing is above the life of a child. So we cannot jeopardize the life of the students by calling them just to accomplish and finish whatever is left of the boards. So maximum students, wherein science students are involved, their papers were over. It is only few students of commerce, where the business studies paper, the computer paper, and definitely some parts of Delhi where children were not able to sit, and Northeast where they were not able to sit. Only those will be given an opportunity later on by CBSE whenever the situation is conducive enough to sit for these examinations. That is being offered by CBSE. But for the majority of the students, we are in extraordinary times, ma'am, and I appreciate what the board has thought of. And yes, and we are all for the board, and I think in the long run, and
well, we'll be also seeking some clarity from the board as well, because the option to sit for the exam is only available for class 12 students, what the CBSE has said till now. And the exams for class 10 has been scrapped completely. But since the pandemic is showing no signs of slowing, and the cases have already almost touched the 5 lakh mark, this is a growing concern that many parents also have with them, and also as school teachers and principals like you, Seema ji, who are joining us here on the broadcast, and Professor Sharma ji also for giving us the details of what the students could do in the coming times, especially now that the exams have been scrapped, or they later on will they be postponed for another day. Thank you very much to both of you for joining us here on Republic. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you, ma'am, for having us. Thank you so much.